So, this is where the drama takes a sharp turn. It's becoming increasingly clear that Iman Shumpert is far from okay with Teyana's new romance. Especially now that she's openly stepping out with actor Pierre. Ever since that relationship went public, Iman has reportedly been unraveling, and the timing couldn't be more pointed. Meanwhile, Teyana and Aaron are effortlessly stepping into that Hollywood power couple spotlight, exuding confidence at every turn. And for anyone who's forgotten the whirlwind that was Iman and Teyana's divorce back in 2023, brace yourself. This new chapter is reopening all those old wounds. The divorce wasn't just messy, it was utterly draining. Behind closed doors, tensions escalated over assets, control, and custody, and what was once private quickly spiraled into hostility. Allegations flew, trust disintegrated, and observers were left questioning just how ugly things had really gotten. Now, as Teyana moves forward with someone new, the atmosphere has shifted once again. Rumors suggest that Iman is fighting back aggressively, allegedly leveraging legal pressure involving their children, and if that's true, it's veering straight into spiteful territory. This isn't about reconciliation anymore, it's about dominance. When Teyana first filed for divorce in 2023, she attempted to keep everything dignified and composed, portraying the split as mutual, two people drifting apart, no drama. But the moment the legal machinery started rolling, that polished facade shattered. From then on, chaos became constant. Each twist brought fresh tension, escalating conflicts, and nearly every major blow-up seemed to trace directly back to Iman. And now, with a new man stepping into the spotlight, the tension is skyrocketing. Iman Shumpert didn't waste a single second trying to flip the narrative, immediately attempting to cast Teyana as the antagonist. One of his very first moves? Storming straight into court, demanding that she return every single gift he had ever given her during their decade-long relationship. We're talking high-end jewelry, luxury items, and even an entire condo he once purchased for her. The sheer level of pettiness was staggering, and that was only the opening act. As if reclaiming gifts wasn't audacious enough, Iman allegedly went further, attempting to claim a share of royalties from Teyana's music, even from projects she released long before they had met. That's not just unusual, it's almost unprecedented. Divorce settlements are typically confined to assets accumulated during the marriage, not decades-old earnings. People watching called it a desperate, ego-driven move, and that was just the tip of the iceberg. The chaos didn't end there. Reports indicate that Iman went back to court, trying to reduce his child support payments. Keep in mind, he was already paying roughly $8,000 a month for their two daughters, around $4,000 per child. For most people, that sounds substantial, but in celebrity terms, it's actually modest. Yet, he still pushed for less, leaving observers shaking their heads in disbelief. At this point, the issue had little to do with fairness. It was all about ego, control, and proving dominance. Bold as it was, this maneuver didn't catch Teyana off guard. Her legal team had anticipated the move well in advance, arriving prepared with receipts, statements, and airtight evidence to counter every claim. Her legal team had anticipated every move from a mile away, showing up locked and loaded with receipts, bank statements, and airtight proof. They made it unmistakably clear that the $8,000 monthly payment wasn't impacting Iman Shumpert financially in the slightest. He simply didn't want to pay it. Iman even tried to argue that the amount was unfair because Teyana allegedly earns more than he does. According to his claims, Teyana's gross monthly income before taxes hovered around $93,885, while he claimed to make just $47,981 a month. Using that gap, he insisted the child support was excessive and unjust. But the moment the receipts hit the table, his argument crumbled. Teyana's lawyers reportedly revealed that Iman was spending extravagantly on himself every single month without a second thought. Court filings allegedly exposed that his personal expenses totaled a staggering $112,500 per month, completely undermining his claims of financial hardship. That number included over $14,000 a month on dining out, another $14,000 for his podcast, and more than $6,000 monthly on music and video production. When you're splurging that heavily on lifestyle and passion projects, convincing a judge that supporting your own children is the problem becomes nearly impossible. Once those figures surfaced, the "I can't afford it" defense quickly began to crumble. And the revelations didn't stop there. According to court-related reporting, even deeper layers of Iman's spending habits came to light. Teyana's CPA reportedly detailed that he was dropping around $10,500 a month just on lunches alone, plus nearly $19,000 a month on travel, commuting back and forth from South Atlanta to Alpharetta for work. That's an astonishing amount of money moving every single month, without a hint of hesitation. That was the moment Teyana stopped holding anything back in her lawsuit. She reportedly dropped bombshell after bombshell, meticulously detailing why divorce had been on her mind long before the official filing. According to her claims, the problems weren't sudden, they had been simmering for years. Teyana alleged that Iman Shumpert's behavior had been a persistent issue, asserting that he had been unfaithful even before their marriage began. And it didn't stop there. She claimed his actions continued throughout both of her pregnancies, piling on emotional strain that was nearly impossible to endure. The allegations grew even more serious. Teyana accused Iman of crossing an alarming line by allegedly sharing inappropriate personal photos, images involving himself and their infant child, with other women. The revelation sent shockwaves through anyone paying attention. Naturally, Iman reportedly tried to turn the tables, hinting that Teyana may have been unfaithful as well. But Teyana shot that narrative down immediately. Her legal team stressed that any interactions she had with others occurred during periods of separation caused by his alleged misconduct, and that she had never cheated while they were actively together. By that point, no further explanation was necessary. The pattern she laid out had already painted a vivid picture for the court. Iman's reputation for stepping out was no longer whispered gossip, it had become common knowledge. Over the years, his name had been tied to so many controversies that when another rumor surfaced, hardly anyone batted an eye. What made matters worse was the apparent lack of effort on his part to preserve the marriage or even avoid public embarrassment. Shortly after they tied the knot, the whispers and chatter only picked up pace again, setting the stage for years of escalating tension. The streets were buzzing relentlessly with rumors that Iman Shumpert was involved with another woman, and word spread like wildfire. This was no random misunderstanding. The speculation only intensified because past conversations had painted their relationship as unconventional, giving people even more reason to scrutinize every interaction and every quiet moment. Then, things took a sharp turn when Teyana suddenly wiped both her Instagram and Twitter accounts clean. That bold move sent social media into absolute chaos, with fans convinced it confirmed a major fallout just months into the marriage. Everyone started connecting dots, real or imagined, analyzing every silence and deleted post. The theories multiplied at lightning speed, and as usual, the internet ran wild. But Teyana refused to let the narrative spiral out of control. She resurfaced with authority, shutting down rumors directly, calling out just how far people were reaching, and reminding everyone that outsiders didn't have the full picture. She made it crystal clear that the online chatter had twisted events out of context, and that people were obsessing over moments they didn't truly understand. Yet, by then, the damage was already done. The speculation had laid over an already messy situation, adding fuel to the fire. Teyana eventually confronted the rumors head-on, leaving no room for misinterpretation. She wrote, "I've never seen or touched that girl in my life. My page is gone because I'm upset at Def Jam for not dropping my video. Same thing every time. It's really sad how lies get entertained way more than the truth." She also made it abundantly clear that Iman knew better than to recklessly jeopardize her reputation, putting a firm stop to any false narrative before it could take root. But that wasn't the end of the accusations, not even close. As time went on, things reportedly got so chaotic that people began suggesting Teyana seemed like the outsider in her own marriage, while Iman Shumpert was allegedly chasing attention left and right as if it were entirely normal. Fast forward to 2023, and the internet erupted again when a TikTok creator released a dramatic reenactment. Without naming anyone, she depicted a famous singer married to a former NBA player who was supposedly a repeat cheater. According to the story, the relentless betrayal had emotionally shattered the wife to the point of hospitalization from sheer stress and heartbreak. It didn't take long for social media sleuths to connect the dots. Overnight, speculation homed in on Teyana and Iman, exploding across timelines and feeds. Then, things escalated even further when the TikTok creator added more claims, suggesting that the hospitalization was linked to substance-related issues and a cancelled performance. That revelation sent shockwaves online, pushing the rumor mill into absolute overdrive. At that point, the internet wasn't just talking, It was fully locked in, analyzing and dissecting every angle of a story that seemed to grow darker, more twisted, and increasingly complicated with each passing day. The woman never mentioned names, but let's be real, the internet immediately pieced the puzzle together. Everyone knew she had to be talking about Teyana and Iman Shumpert, especially once the timelines started lining up. Just months before that TikTok video dropped, Teyana had shared a photo from the hospital and announced she was cancelling a performance. She explained it herself, "I've been leaving it all on the stage for a month straight. So, I'm really saddened to not be able to do the same for you. Last night, my team and I tried everything down to the very last second to get on that stage, but my body simply gave out. My body low-key betrayed me." Under normal circumstances, her explanation wouldn't have raised eyebrows. Artists push themselves constantly, especially during grueling tours, and fatigue happens. Most fans accepted it, sending love rather than questions. But the moment that TikTok reenactment went live, everything changed. People began second-guessing what they thought they knew. Fans questioned whether the hospital visit was truly exhaustion, or if emotional stress from her marriage drama had played a far bigger role than anyone had realized. The speculation exploded, and overnight, the narrative flipped. What once seemed like simple burnout now had people wondering if heartbreak was secretly at play. From that moment on, the internet refused to let the timeline rest. Teyana saw the shade and jumped on Instagram with zero hesitation, clapping back hard. She called the entire TikTok story false, labeling the person who sent it in a fool and warning the reenactor that legal consequences could follow. She didn't hold back, demanding proof, asking directly where the receipts were, and making it clear that none existed. The evidence didn't exist, and Teyana made her stance crystal clear. She shut down the most extreme claims and sent an unmistakable message. Nobody could push her into anything reckless. Period. Her message was loud, firm, and uncompromising. The story was false, dangerous, and completely out of line, and she wasn't going to let anyone tarnish her name like that. Now, let's be honest. Nobody is claiming Teyana was perfect, or that she didn't make mistakes in the marriage. But one fact stands undeniable. She consistently went above and beyond to protect that relationship, and their children, at all costs. She was perpetually on defense, shutting down rumors, carefully managing what remained private, and doing everything in her power to keep the chaos from spilling publicly. She guarded Iman Shumpert's image, moved cautiously, and tried relentlessly to maintain peace. Yet, despite all her efforts, it still fell apart. Last year, the situation escalated further when another woman stepped forward and publicly called out Iman. This time, there was no room for denials. The receipts were undeniable. A video surfaced with Iman's voice unmistakably in the background, leaving no space for spin, damage control, or saving face. The truth was out, and the situation was fully exposed for the world to see. But the revelations didn't stop there. The woman went further, posting a photo of herself wearing Iman's chain, cementing the story and making the scandal impossible to ignore. At that point, it seemed the world had practically confirmed that something had been happening behind the scenes. The timeline didn't add up, and the internet pieced together the puzzle with laser precision. What's remarkable is that Teyana immediately stepped up to defend Iman Shumpert. She went public with a statement. "In all fairness, Iman and I are separated and have been for a while. So, be 1000% clear. Infidelity isn't one of the reasons for our departure. We are still one heck of a team when it comes to co-parenting our two beautiful children. The only reason I'm sharing this is because the narratives are getting a little too out of hand, and it's unfair to all parties involved. I hope this provides clarity." Even then, she was protecting him, attempting to quiet the chaos, and prioritizing their kids, despite the internet relentlessly dissecting every detail of the situation. But the problem was obvious. The evidence was already out in plain sight. There was no simple way to explain it away, and denying it outright was never going to work. Anyone could do a quick search and find a long list of past controversies tied to Iman's name. Instead of acknowledging this, instead of taking accountability, the narrative allegedly shifted once again. Rather than recognizing Teyana's public defense of him, Iman reportedly attempted to flip the story, painting her as the problem. Claims began circulating that framed Teyana as the aggressive one, the instigator whenever conflict arose, further complicating an already messy public saga. And after everything Teyana had done to shield him, that move left the public stunned. It felt like the ultimate betrayal at the worst possible moment. Iman Shumpert later shared his version of a particular incident, claiming, "I was downstairs with my headphones on, playing my PlayStation, and she started hitting me. I used to work with special ed kids and was taught to hold them from behind with a bear hug to calm them down. I yelled for my siblings and went upstairs to where my mother was." That was the story he presented, casting himself as the calm, reasonable one in the confrontation. But Teyana wasn't about to let that narrative slide, not for a second. She came forward with a detailed account of her side, accusing Iman of being emotionally harsh and creating a toxic environment that affected not only her but also their children. According to Teyana, jealousy was a major factor in the unraveling of their marriage, fueling tension, manipulation, and repeated conflicts that took a heavy toll on the family. Teyana claimed that Iman Shumpert struggled with deep insecurities about her fame, feeling inferior even though he had earned far more during his basketball career than she ever had in music at the time. Public events, she said, were constant flashpoints. He reportedly hated when paparazzi asked him to step aside for solo shots of Teyana, and moments meant to celebrate her success often turned tense, awkward, and uncomfortable. Those insecurities, she alleged, followed them into private life as well. Iman would allegedly send her condescending and manipulative text messages whenever she was in the spotlight. According to Teyana, arguments would erupt out of nowhere, even on her birthday, only to be followed by apologies later. She eventually revealed just how much she had sacrificed to keep the peace. At one point, the tension became so suffocating that she felt forced to dim her own light and put her own career on hold just to protect the relationship. But no matter how much she gave, it was never enough. The marriage continued to unravel, and according to Teyana, Iman always found something to be upset about, no matter how hard she tried to maintain calm. In her effort to preserve stability at home after giving birth, she even turned down acting roles, hoping that slowing things down might bring more stability to their home. But that decision came at a steep price: fewer projects, less income, and suddenly her contributions became a point of criticism. No matter how much she sacrificed, it was never enough. The goalposts kept shifting, leaving her in an endless lose-lose scenario. According to TMZ, Teyana said she fought tirelessly to keep the family together, even while alleging that Iman Shumpert was emotionally and mentally damaging during the marriage. She stayed, trying to make it work, only to watch the situation deteriorate further. When she quietly began the divorce process, Iman reportedly pushed for reconciliation, insisting they give it another try. But that attempt quickly crumbled as he became inconsistent and allegedly got entangled in yet another cheating scandal, something Teyana described as deeply humiliating and embarrassing. She also claimed that she went out of her way to support him professionally. As his NBA career began winding down, Teyana allegedly leveraged her industry connections to help Iman secure opportunities in Hollywood, attempting to ease his transition and provide stability. She helped Iman Shumpert land Hollywood opportunities, trying to create peace, but instead, the arguing never stopped. By 2021, Teyana reportedly realized that nothing was changing. The constant fighting, tension, and emotional strain showed no signs of easing. That's when she officially began moving forward with divorce, fully aware that she had already given everything she had to give. For a brief moment, she did call off the divorce, and it seemed like they might have reconciled. But that moment of hope didn't last long. According to court documents, the same issues kept resurfacing, particularly as Iman's NBA career continued winding down and his insecurities remained front and center. By 2022, Teyana revealed, things had become so unstable that she felt manipulated and controlled. She filed for divorce again, but in a shocking twist, her legal team withdrew it just one day later. That alone speaks volumes about how emotionally draining the situation had become. Finally, by January of last year, Teyana pulled the trigger for good. She said she simply couldn't handle the relentless emotional roller coaster anymore. The constant ups and downs, the apologies, the arguments, and the broken promises had taken their toll, and she knew she had reached her absolute limit. Her limit had been reached. We could go on endlessly detailing all the ways Iman Shumpert made life difficult for Teyana, but by now, the pattern is undeniable. Eventually, the divorce was finalized, and both officially moved on. Afterward, Iman was seen out with multiple women, though nobody really knows how serious any of those encounters were. From an outsider's perspective, It appeared to be a string of flings with no real direction. Teyana, on the other hand, kept her love life completely private, until now. She has emerged publicly with none other than Pierre, yes, Mr. Mufasa himself. And they are not hiding a thing. They are stepping out with confidence, boldness, and unapologetic flair. That, right there, is what has everyone talking, and it's why this story has entered an entirely new chapter. They are not even attempting discretion. Teyana and Pierre are out here showcasing their relationship in full, like a red carpet premiere for the world to see. Loud, proud, and unstoppable. First, Teyana and Pierre made a public appearance together at the 15% Pledge event, and just days later, they turned heads again at the American Black Film Festival Gala. The timing alone had tongues wagging. And let's be real, when you look at them together, they don't just look good. They look incredible. The energy between them was effortless, confident, and magnetic, pure power couple vibes without even trying. But the real headline moment came when Aaron won his Rising Star Award, and Teyana wrapped him in a full-body, no-hesitation hug. That wasn't a casual congratulatory embrace, it was a moment dripping with chemistry and connection. Anyone still questioning their relationship got the answer loud and clear. No captions, no statements, nothing needed. Naturally, fans have been absolutely loving this, rooting for Teyana and her new chapter. Everyone seems happy for her, everyone except Iman Shumpert, of course. According to insiders, he's allegedly been spiraling ever since she moved on. Word is he expected her to stay home, focused solely on the kids, not confidently stepping out with a new man, especially not someone like Aaron. And now, things are getting even messier. Reports are surfacing that Iman may be trying to use the kids as leverage, driven by pure bitterness. Considering everything we already know, that kind of reaction? It's rich. Really rich. This glow-up from Teyana clearly hit a nerve, and the fallout is just beginning. The glow-up clearly hit a nerve, and it seems the fallout is only beginning. Things take a sharp, serious turn according to court filings, where Teyana Taylor accused Iman Shumpert of being an absentee parent, allegedly failing to properly care for their 2 children while they were in his custody. She claimed that even basic responsibilities were neglected during his parenting time, raising serious red flags. Reports also surfaced that Teyana accused Iman of smoking around the kids and, at times, being under the influence while supervising them. If true, that alone explains why tensions escalated so rapidly. One court document in particular had jaws dropping. It alleged that Iman placed their children in a rideshare in Chicago and had them dropped off at the United Center with no adult escort, while he rode separately with a private driver. To put that into perspective, both kids were under 8 years old and unfamiliar with the city. And it didn't stop there. Teyana reportedly stated that whenever she offered Iman extra time with their daughters, he frequently declined. Multiple witnesses claimed she consistently tried to encourage more involvement, only for him to allegedly refuse due to scheduling conflicts. At one point, he reportedly argued that 3 days' notice wasn't enough to accept additional parenting time. When you line all of this up, it's hard not to side-eye these emerging custody threats, and the timing, given